Sports coverage of the National Football League welcomes you to South America and one of the world's most populous cities, vibrant Sao Paulo in the southeast region of Brazil. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. On the visiting sideline, there's the Chiefs head coach, Andy Reid. Across from him, Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh. This guy's come in off what he described as a strong week of practice, looking to put one in the win column in front of these home fans.
Cameron Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
Cameron Dicker has the ball teed up as we get underway. And off we go from here in Sao Paulo. We'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. So here come the Chiefs, and that means the three-time Super Bowl MVP, twice the league MVP. Almost hard to believe, Greg, it's season 9 for Patrick Mahomes.
Mike, as I think back to opening day over my years of playing in the NFL, it didn't matter if I was a rookie or going into my 14th season. I think every player goes into that game with just a little bit of extra nerves, thinking, new season, new opportunity. Can I still do this at a high level? And, man, you get through that first game, and it feels like you can finally take a deep breath and let the season unfold. It's going to be a lot of nerves in this one here today, but the team that settles down the fastest and just gets back to playing ball, they're going to have a big advantage coming away with a big win today.
Got him in. That's Rashee Rice. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Play action here. Mahomes. And he can't hang on through the contact. Incomplete. Good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. It'll bring up second down. From the shotgun, it's Mahomes. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a third down. He was trying to get it to Xavier Worthy there. Now it's going to be third down. To the air once more. It's Mahomes. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
And he'll get a few yards back here on the return before being forced out of bounds. So here come the Chargers, and it's year 6 and year 2 for Justin Herbert, Greg. It's year 2 with Jim Harbaugh, but the 6th season for the 6th overall pick in the 2020 draft.
Mike, isn't there just something different about week 1 of the NFL season? I mean, after months of anticipation, debate, speculation, it all gets settled on the field. New coaches, new teams, rookies playing their first time. Man, it's just an exciting time of year, and I'm pumped to be calling it alongside you.
Just a yard on first down. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Herbert. That one complete to Johnston. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver, and then see what he can do after the catch.
A gain there of 20, and the Chargers have the first down.
First and 10 at the 49
They'll go again with Hampton. And good hard running there. He'll push his way forward. Gain of about 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and
From the 44 now. Here's 2nd and 4. On play action. Now Herbert. That is into the hands of Allen downfield. That one's good for 29.
And it's his first catch of the game, and it ends up being a good one. All week long, we talked about how this dominant secondary wanted to take away their best targets, and he continues to make plays like that. Their top 10 ranking could take a hit by the end of this one.
Line of scrimmage is the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Najee Harris. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
Well, nothing doing here, and I think you can see pretty early on. Now, while he's trying to remain patient and see if a hole pops, it's just too slow of a developing play. He never gets into the teeth of the defense at all and ends up being taken down for a loss.
Shotgun now for Herbert. To the left side, pulled in by Conklin. And he will score! Tyler Conklin, touchdown Los Angeles.
And that was just a great drive, really from start to finish, Mike. You could see the play caller just really finding his rhythm, mix and run, mix and pass. Results in the touchdown pass, but really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection. You can sustain the drives like that and come away with touchdowns. Man, that goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
Nothing is our score as this kick is sent into the air. Now return coming from the 7. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. Greg, you step back, such an appreciation for this continued, consistent excellence. 3 straight Super Bowls, 15-2 in the first-round bye last year. Of course, the loss to Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. But maybe this sustained excellence is what we need to appreciate about what Kansas City is in the middle of right now.
Absolutely. And it's so true, Mike. I mean, we get wrapped up in the Super Bowl wins, the losses, the ups and downs. And in a league that's really trying to prevent this very thing from happening, right? They want parity, they want new teams in the midst. They're almost doing this in spite of the way the league is organized. And I think that's the part you have to sit back and just appreciate. And it's their ability to continue to change their identity. They go from a pass-heavy offense with Mahomes. Then they become defensive-led with this young defense and Steve Spagnuolo. So it's their ability to continue to adapt and to change to whatever their circumstances are. They are such a tough out. And until told otherwise, Mike, you have to consider the AFC runs through Kansas City. He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment, and keeps this to a modest gain at best.
Mahomes now to throw on 2nd down. Forced to his right. Now he'll run.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
And in motion is Brown. Mahomes going to throw here on 3rd down. That one complete to Brown. And he'll be stopped short of a 1st down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down. Here's Matt Araiza now. The punt for the 2nd time, looking to pin the opponent back deep. And he didn't get the check he was hoping for on that one. That goes into the end zone, and it's a touchback. Greg, this was one of the good turnarounds last year. Chargers 6 games better than a year before as Jim Harbaugh came in and started maybe a new era in Chargers football.
Now, doesn't it just seem like when there's these coaching changes, you kind of take a look at the roster, you take a look at the circumstances of the year prior that led to the previous coach being let go, and you say, How many wins are built in? You look at the quarterback, you look at the roster, and you say, if a big-time coach came in and just got them a little more organized, what are the built-in wins? And I'll tell you, the Chargers, that's exactly what we saw last year. Jim Harbaugh, he has a reputation of winning everywhere he goes at all levels of football, and it doesn't hurt that he's got his franchise quarterback behind center. So it's a great situation, great coach, great quarterback. Now just continue to build a roster that not only can make the playoffs, but now you got to go and contend for a Super Bowl. Simple play to call, but complex to execute. A toss play is beautiful, Mike, when a team hits it like they just did. We can see why they're a fan of the toss. Healthy game, and they pick up the first down.
A run. Here's Harris. That one never got started. Defensive pressure too much, and they drop him in the backfield.
The key to great defensive line play is the get-off. When that ball moves, how fast can you get off the ball and get into the backfield? That's exactly what we saw here. Quick read, react, get off the block, take him down for a loss.
Now, a deep shot for Allen. And he's going to be looking at a short field for the offense after the INT. Chance to tie the game or even take the lead.
I know it doesn't seem like a ton of yards on top of that pick, but that was really well done. I mean, it's just going to make life so much easier now as the offense takes the field, trying to capitalize off of that turnover.
The Chiefs offense ready to take over once again. They've got great starting position with a short field as they try to get back in this one. It is 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes. Oh, a teardrop throw there off his back foot. It's complete. The future Hall of Famers connect. Mahomes to Kelsey one more time for a Chiefs first down.
This is a tale as old as time, Mike. It seems that any time a team forces a takeaway, fumble, or interception, the ensuing drive starts with a shot, a deep play in the air to try to seize on some of that momentum. We just saw a great example of it here.
On first down, it's Mahomes. Pass is caught by Gray, right side. And they'll move it down to the 11-yard line. He's out of bounds there. First catch for him on this new season, and it results in a first down. To throw is Mahomes. They'll try to set up the screen here with Pacheco. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
Isaiah Pacheco. A gain of 3 brings up 2nd down. At the Chargers.
Now the former Russian champ, it's Kareem Hunt. I don't think that was going too far either way. Defense right on it. They hold him to no gain.
I know it's easy from up in the booth, Mike, but I think that's one of those zone reads where the quarterback needs to pull it and keep it himself. The defense was clearly keyed on the running back. Not much room in there. No gain.
And that is incomplete.
And this offense just cannot get anything going right now on 3rd down. If you ask any offensive play caller throughout the entire league, Mike, the importance of 3rd down, maintaining possession, making the defense stay on the field and have long extended drives, it is critical to not only scoring points, but ultimately winning in the NFL. It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
After the made field goal, Butker back on the field to send this one away. They'll return this from the 11. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. The Chargers offense ready to get back at it. Greg, everyone looks forward to this Week 1 opener, but to have it so far away from home in Brazil, what kind of impact is that on the players as they get ready for the season?
I think on one hand, the NFL is such a routine, right? The guys all have their habits, they have their routines, they have kind of their weekly schedule leading up to game day. But I think because this is Week 1, Mike, and you can back into some of the travel, you can alter some of your training camp practices and whatnot leading up to the Week 1 opener. I actually think it's kind of cool. I love that the game's going global. I love that they're moving these games to different cities around the world. As we continue to see the interest in the NFL grow, I think we're going to continue to see games played outside of the United States. The players love it. The fans love it. I just think it's great for the entire brand of the NFL.
So, from 37, here's 2nd down and 5. On the ground, Hampton. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. Pick up of the 11 yards on that one. 1st down, L.A.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Pistol here for Herbert. Got his man at the 6. And he will be out of bounds on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. It's the Chargers with football to begin this 2nd quarter as they go to work on 1st and goal.
Run!
They'll run with Hampton. Nothing there. He is fortunate just to get back to the line. Now it's 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
On play action, it's Herbert. That is hot. What a job to keep the play alive. Quentin Johnston. Touchdown, L.A. Tight spaces down there. Things happen quick. Greg, a quick decision and great execution for the score.
You're exactly right, Mike. Down here this close to the goal line, everybody's clock has to speed up. Not only the quarterback processing to get the ball out of his hand, but you have to win as a receiver quickly and give the quarterback somewhere to go with the ball. It was that quickness at the line of scrimmage that led to that touchdown.
Dicker, good with the extra point. And the Chargers extend their advantage to 14-3. After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. A safe kick taken at the 5. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. So, here comes the KC offense set to take over once more. Greg, you take a step back and look at the AFC West big picture. This is historic stuff. Chiefs are going for a 10th straight division title, but you have to remember, 2 other teams in this division won double-digit games last year. So the question is, are the Chargers and the Broncos that far behind Kansas City?
You know, it sounds crazy. When you mentioned it in 9 in a row, you think, okay, they're just going to continue to run away with it. But I'm actually fascinated by this division. I think L.A. and Denver are a lot closer to this year's version of Kansas City, maybe than there's a lot of talk about around the rest of the league. So until someone beats them, you'd be crazy to pick Kansas City. But last year it was a 4-game and a 5-game spread between them. I think this year, come down the stretch, that spread is going to be a lot tighter.
No, Greg, I'm thinking if I'm a fan or even in the front office for the Chargers or the Broncos or the Raiders, do I build my team to try to knock off the king of the hill? Because you only play Kansas City 2 of those 17 games. So how do you factor that into your construction?
Yeah, I think it's such a great point. It's really fascinating to dive into. And while I wouldn't necessarily build my roster to just beat Kansas City or to just beat whoever you view as the top team in the division, you do want to find some commonalities among your 3 division opponents and make sure you are built to play within your division. Remember, that's 6 of the 17 now. Winning the division, you get you home playoff games. There's a lot on the line when you win your division and compete for that title. So, yes, every team has to build their roster. If you have a bunch of really good quarterbacks, you better be able to rush the passer and play pass coverage. If you're playing a lot of ground and pound, big running backs, you better be really good on the inside in defense and be able to defend the run. So there's themes across every division, and the teams that are built to compete within the division.
That is caught side of the end zone. Xavier Worthy. Touchdown, Chiefs.
Touchdown, Chiefs.
Harrison Butker now for the extra point. His kick is good. And the Chiefs are back within 4. It is 14-10.
14. Chiefs 10.
So now it's Butker following the touchdown to send this one away. The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. Justin Herbert back out there. He and the Chargers getting set to go once more. You know, Greg, you start to think about, okay, who are the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that have a chance this year? Look, it happens every year. We just have to identify who they are. Who are a couple top of mind for you as we start 2025?
Now, as I started the AFC, I think the Cincinnati Bengals. You got to think the way their season ended last year, they rattled off 5 wins straight, really on the back of Joe Burrow. We could have made the argument if they're a playoff team that Joe Burrow was the best player in the league. I mean, he was incredible. Most weeks, Mike, he single-handedly carried that offense. Now, new defensive coordinator in Al Golden coming from the college ranks. Can he just make that defense in Cincinnati better? Because if they just play a little bit better than that high-profile offense, I think they're a team. They might not win the division with Baltimore, but they're going to be close and maybe at least get one of those wild card spots.
Why don't you flip it over? Who are the guys you're watching in the NFC?
You know, I think Dallas is going to find themselves just the fact that I know the division is difficult. Obviously, Philadelphia remains really strong. Does Washington kind of regress a little bit back now in year 2? They were a high-profile, big splash team of last year. Do they regress to the median? Time will tell. But I think healthy Dallas, healthy Dak, healthy Micah Parsons, like that roster that we saw play last year is not the roster on paper that we expected to see. So I think Dallas has a chance. I think San Francisco always is going to be a team, again, dealt with their own injuries last year with McCaffrey and all the stuff on defense. So I think San Francisco and Dallas are 2 perennial teams we expect to be in the playoff hunt. They missed out last year. I wouldn't be shocked to see them back in it again this year.
And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the first down mark.
And it seems like he just cut that route a little too short. He's got to get more depth on the initial stem, and that way he makes sure when he catches the ball, it's beyond the sticks.
For the field goal.
Dicker's kick is good. And the Chargers will open up a touchdown lead. It's now 17-10.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
This one taken at the 7. And he will get cut down short, shy of the 20-yard mark. Here's Xavier Worthy and his Kansas City teammates getting set for their next possession. You know, Greg, early on, it's always new faces in different places. Off-season movement, what caught your eye?
I think there's so many good ones, right? You talk about Stephon Diggs. He ends up in New England, and Cooper Kupp now. He's moving on to Seattle from the Rams. I think it's the guy the Rams signed to replace him, Davante Adams. I know he's not the youngest anymore, but watching him play in New York with Aaron Rodgers last year with the Jets, he can still run, he can still make every catch, he can still go up and compete at the high point. I think you put Davante Adams with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, in that offense run by Sean McVay, I think that's a sneaky, maybe not a sneaky because he's a really household name, but I think that's a great signing by the Rams.
And always interesting from the offseason, the quarterback movement and unique ties. Some of the biggest names were or now are Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, now the guy that is going to line up behind center for Seattle, Mike, is...
And they are not going to catch up to him. He will score. 79 yards. Touchdown, Kansas City.
This is when you're very fortunate as an offensive play caller, Mike, that you not only have the speed on the outside, but you got the big arm behind center, because it doesn't get real fancy. If you can hold up in the protection, you're saying run as fast and as far as you can. I'm going to throw it as far as I can, and when you connect, it is a thing of beauty, and in this case, it results in a touchdown.
The kick is good. That ties the game at 17.
So back to level after the touchdown. Time for the kickoff. Here's Darius Davis to return. Now an opening past the 30. And they will finally track him down, but not before he takes this to the other side of midfield. The Chargers offense and Omarion Hampton getting set for their next possession. Now, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going for it on fourth down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. There wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field goals, because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season will mirror playoff overtime, each team getting the ball. I'm so happy, Greg, because I just felt so incomplete when a team got to overtime, but then their offense, which may be the best part of the team, never got on the field.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more, and you hear everyone saying, oh, well, just get a stop. Well, it's that legendary game between Mahomes and Josh Allen where neither team stopped anyone. It was just an offensive touchdown festival, so you won a coin toss, and you get the ball.
The pass rush gets home, and he goes down. That's the All-Pro 3 years running, Chris Jones, taking him down for the first sack of this new campaign.
So 3rd and goal inside the 5, Mike. Defensively, what you're trying to do is, of course, keep him out of the end zone. But the second step is don't allow them to have any decision about whether or not they want to go for it on 4th down. So now after that sack, they take the loss and probably leads to a field goal attempt.
Well, a field goal would break the tie, but instead the offense stays out there. They're going to go for it on 4th and goal. They'll go. It's Hampton. And he's not going to get there. They stopped him at the goal line. It's a turnover on downs.
And what a job here by the defensive line. They've got to hold their ground. Any sort of push by the offense is going to result in a touchdown. But here, the defense comes through with a huge goal line stand, and they're able to keep this offense out of the end zone.
Patrick Mahomes going to lead the KC offense back out for this next drive. And he has done everything you could ask of him coming into this one. Spread it around, hasn't taken many chances, and potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. He did not want to go down there. Carrying tacklers, it's a gain of 9.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You've got to have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Great job here defensively, Mike. Make them snap the ball again. 2nd and 1, they're not conceding anything. Make it 3rd and 1 and see if your defense can come up again with a stop for no gain.
He'll try and run it here with Pacheco. And he's going to get that first down. Tackle made up at the 13.
Yeah, he didn't get it by a whole lot, but that's a really nice job up front, giving him just enough of a crease that he can push his way forward and pick up the first down.
Play fake. Now it's Mahomes. Looking down the field there, but it falls incomplete.
Just a little bit too much juice on that one, and you just can't throw the ball out of bounds. Give your receiver a chance to go up and compete for the ball, but when you miss that far wide, he's got no shot.
On 2nd down, Mahomes. That is incomplete. Travis Kelce, the intended target. And 3rd down coming up.
3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. Working his way out left. He'll try and get there on the ground. Can't beat those legs. 13-yard pickup. A scramble leads to a first down. So, 2 minutes to play in a back-and-forth first half. We're back in Sao Paulo after this. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. Left side. It's caught by Brown. And he's close to another first down. Brought down just shy of the marker.
Brings up 2nd and inches at the 36-yard line.
Enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. Throwing is Mahomes. Right back to Brown. He's got it again. And he's going to be out of bounds. Just shy of midfield.
12 yards.
That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
First down.
Now Mahomes gives it to Pacheco. He'll try to get back to the line, but he's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
We spent so much time, Mike, talking about these defensive backs and their ability in pass coverage, but when you also have a defensive back that can make plays in the run game, especially behind the line of scrimmage, man, those guys are just so hard to find. That was a heck of a job here by this guy.
And this is too far out in front. That one's incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Mike, with this guy's speed, he's not an easy target to overthrow, so that's one of those where they're telling this quarterback, throw it with everything you got. Just lay it out there, and more times than not, he's going to run under it, but in this case, just a little bit too much on it. He winds up overshooting his man.
Now a deep ball looking for Brown. They're going to have it at their own 20-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And while the defender is going to get credit for the pick, Mike, I think he needs to go up on the sideline and thank his pass rush because they forced that bad throw. That is the perfect example of when the front pass rush and the back end coverage work together. Man, that was big-time ball.
The Chargers offense going to see what they can do in the final minute of this first half. They'll work in a tie game here in the 2nd quarter and get started with 1st and 10. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. They'll start on the ground with Hampton. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up second down.
A 9-yard pickup. It's second and inches.
Another run here with Hampton. And that'll be a gain of 2 and a first down.
It's possible they could have tried to be a little bit more aggressive on second down, knowing they had 3rd and inches in their back pocket. But I don't think anyone's going to complain. Pick up the first down, extend the drive, see if you can go score.
Throwing on first down is Herbert. That one down the field, but it is incomplete. And McConkey, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up second down. Out of the gun, here's Herbert. He's going to look for the home run goal.
They nearly connected on the big play downfield, but he's not quite able to hold on to that ball through the contact. You can chalk that one up as a win defensively.
So, after 2 straight incompletions, here's 3rd and 10. Now it's Herbert. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered. And that is how this first half will come to an end.
Meanwhile, in our game, we expected a tight one, and we got it, all even at the break. As we send you back out to our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thanks. Probably a tough halftime for the defensive coordinators, trying to do something to slow down these offenses. What a show they put on in the first half. On the return, here comes Davis. And the good hit pays off. They'll only be able to take this past the 10-yard line. The Chargers offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. Greg, I know you're passionate about this, the change in the evolution of the NFL the last decade, the willingness to go for it even more often now on fourth down, as we've seen here.
Yeah, I think teams just continue to understand the NFL is not about yards, it's not about time of possession, it's about generating big plays, and it's about maximizing every position you have and sustaining the ball. So when you get opportunities at certain down and distances, at certain parts of the field, to use that extra down, it changes everything. And the last thing I'll say, Mike, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. You don't decide to go for it on fourth down, or at least I'll say the good teams don't decide to go for it on fourth down They knew they were going for it on fourth down 3 plays ago. They knew on 1st and 10, this was 4-down territory. So first down, second down, third down, the play caller is using that information to say, if I need fourth down, I had it, so I don't need to get it.
The pressure, too much, and he goes down. That is George Karlaftis working his way in to register his first sack of the new season.
This is a great reminder of why it's so important to have great offensive tackles. When you get beat so fast off the edge, the quarterback has nowhere to go in the pocket to escape, and that's what happens.
On fourth down, out is J.K. Scott to punt for the Chargers, as he'll take this a yard or 2 into his own end zone. This will be returned from the other side of midfield, and he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Chiefs offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. We'll have a short field ahead as they look to break our tie. It is 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by Pacheco. And he's not going to get away. They're going to bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
Mahomes looking to throw on 2nd. He is hit before he can get rid of it, and down he goes. That is the 9-time Pro Bowler Khalil Mack getting in there to bring him down. His 1st sack of the season.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. They put Kelce in motion. 3rd and long for Mahomes. That's complete left side to Worthy. And he'll be stopped short of a 1st down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down. Return there. The offense not going to be backed up as much as they could have. Drive's going to start from beyond the 20. So now here comes the Chargers as they get set to take over once more. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. This drive will begin with a run with Hampton. A good, physical run, motoring forward for 9. From the 31, here comes a 2nd and a yard.
2nd and a yard.
They'll go with Hampton. And he'll work his way for about 4 yards. That's good enough for a 1st down.
This offense, they're not interested in taking the deep shot here. 2nd and short, the way they're running the ball, pound the rock, reset the downs, and just keep the drive alive.
Ball out to the 35-yard line as they come up for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Herbert. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a 1st down. That's catch number 5 tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. They run it over center with Harris. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all. We'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the Chiefs' 45-yard line.
Now Herbert. Open man downfield is Conklin. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line. That's catch number 5 tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
2-yard line.
The mind is out of bounds. It's telling you that check about the memories that.
Let's go. They're going to run out of the gun, and here's Harris. Give them a dozen yards on that one and give them 1st and goal.
And this offense just continues to chew up yards and get 1st down after 1st down. And defensively now, you find yourself a little bit on your heels. You're defending a goal-to-go situation. They need to step up here.
And he's into the end zone. Omarion Hampton, touchdown Chargers. For Hampton, the rookie, he's going to want to hold on to that one. 1st touchdown of his young career.
It just feels like a big drive, doesn't it, Mike? Here in the 2nd half, you got a tie ball game. Now you're able to get out in front. Let's see how this other team responds, having to play from behind.
We got a ton of time, Greg, but a little momentum feel. Come out of the locker room, take the lead. Now it's up to the other team to climb uphill. So great way, perfect way to get this 2nd half started. Scott, thanks. No rest at the break for a couple of, I'm sure, weary defensive coordinators trying to figure out how to stop these offenses here in the second half. Now return coming from the 7. He's across the 20, taking down just shy of the 25. The Chiefs offense headed back to take over once more. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a first down. They'll start on the ground with Pacheco. And that is going nowhere in a hurry. Finally taken down well behind the line. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. From the shotgun, it's Mahomes. He's going to let this one go for Worthy. That one knocked away. It is incomplete. Very good job defensively. Stayed right with him and will bring up 3rd down. Mahomes back. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. And he'll get a good chunk of that yardage back, but he's still well short of the first down.
The defender has to do a better job here, Mike, of getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going to take advantage.
And he's going to be brought down after a short return, and that's where his team will get possession of the football. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Herbert. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, just ends up being a wasted down.
On 2nd down, a run with Harris. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
So the key to these off-tackle style run plays, Mike, is you can't allow penetration. You cannot allow the defenders to get in your backfield, because when they do, the play really has no chance and you end up going backwards.
Throwing is Herbert on 3rd down. This one intercepted. Picked up by their rookie corner. And the Chiefs have excellent field position as they take over right at midfield.
And while he's still a rookie and he's going to have his ups and downs, this is the player they thought they were getting when they selected him in this previous year's draft. I mean, he looked almost like a savvy veteran there, baiting that quarterback into that throw. He had great anticipation. He was on time in his drive. And then he plucks that ball out of the air, and he almost looks like a wide receiver.
The Chiefs offense makes their way back out to the field. Right at midfield with a 1st down. Mahomes. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short. It's going to be 3rd. They need 1. They'll run with Pacheco. And he will have the Chiefs' 1st down. They're able to convert, albeit not by much, but they get it on 3rd and a yard.
And these are the tough yards you judge a back by, Mike. We used to say to our backs, hey, even if we don't block everyone, you've got to be your own blocker. Like, you have to find a way to get 1 yard and keep this drive alive. And I think he's able to pick up that 1st down by a yard or 2.
And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. They put Kelsey in motion. straight ahead with Pacheco. It'll be a short pickup down to the 22. Alohi Gilman up to make the tackle.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
It is 2nd and 6. Patrick to throw. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
And 6 yards to go.
To throw is Mahomes. This one just too far for the receiver. Out in front of him. That one falls incomplete.
Little miscommunication there. Now brings up 3rd down. It just doesn't appear that the quarterback and the wide receiver were on the same page on that last pass.
A 39-yard attempt.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Chiefs will cut the lead down to 4.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
Davis now to return it. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Chargers offense ready to get back at it. Philippe sits at 4. So they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. And he's going to get this to the 37-yard line. 6 catches for him in the ball game now. This one's good for a 1st down.
They do a really nice job of picking up the pressure, and that's what allows him to have the time to go through his entire progression. He sees his check down wide open, gets the ball into his hands, and he does the rest.
Line.
A run. This is Hampton. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line. 2 nice play calls here to kick off the drive. 15 more on that one. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. They'll go again with Hampton. And he's able to force his way through one man, but he can only muster about a yard on that play. 2nd down.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. Back with more of the NFL International Series after this. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. On the ground, Hampton will start in the 4th. And he will get forward for about 5 yards. That sets up 3rd down.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 3.
To throw, it's Herbert. Open man, right side. He's got it. Good work after the catch. They gain 19 yards and a 1st down.
That's another Chargers 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So this is a part of the game that everybody works on, Mike. They call it 4-minute offense, and you don't necessarily have to have 4 minutes on the clock. But the whole idea is we possess the ball late in the 4th quarter with the lead. The goal is we want to end the game with the ball. So that 3rd down conversion is going to go a long way. Protect the ball, continue to pick up 1st downs. If they do that, I don't even think their opponent sees the ball again.
Now it's 2nd and 1. Again, and here comes Harris. And they'll have 1st and goal. He is down inside the 10-yard line.
A gain of 3 yards. And the Chargers First down. First and goal.
Throwing, Herbert. He's hit as he threw. It goes to the ground, and it's an incomplete pass. Another shot at it from the nod. Second down and goal. Here's Herbert. Oh, they got the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trent McDuffie.
All right, Mike, file this play away. If they're able to hold on and pull this game out, we're going to look back on this as the pivotal moment of this game. Oftentimes, it takes that one big moment to sway the outcome of a game, and no bigger play than a pick deep inside your own red zone.
The Chiefs offense ready for this next possession. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. On the ground to start the drive with Pacheco. And this will gain a couple of yards up to the 22-yard line.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now, and partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage of the game.
And he's going to be taken down to 37. Sensational stats in this one, and now that pass gets him over 300 yards on the evening. Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for 1st and 10. To throw is Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy once again. And he's going to be out of bounds, just shy of midfield. They go right back to him. This catch good for 11 and a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard
Now,
line.
Mahomes. Throwing off his back foot, and it's taken in. He'll be out of bounds. Decent pickup of 5 on 1st down. From the 46. Here's 2nd and 5.
Gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
On the carry, it's Pacheco. And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10. 1st down, KC.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest, and while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
And he'll take this one in. Darren Riley. Touchdown, KC. What a game this has been. Back and forth we go, and that 4th quarter score changes the lead one more time.
And we've seen the lead go back and forth, Mike, and now the question is, can they get a stop? Can they find a way defensively to hang on to this lead and get themselves this big win?
Now this, an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He knocks it through, and the Chiefs go up by 3. It's 27-24.
Chargers 24. Harrison Butker in a kickoff.
So now playing with the lead after that 4th quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. Return, here comes Davis. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Chargers offense get those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They'll begin with 1st and 10. This drive begins with a run by Harris. And a good job defensively to rally to the ball. They hold them to a short gain. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 9. Throwing now is Herbert. I had a defender draped all over him. Incomplete. Good work to body him up and set up a 3rd down.
3rd down and 9 yards to go.
This pitch and catch may have looked routine, but I promise you, Mike, these types of anticipatory throws, especially outside the numbers, they don't occur without countless reps, oftentimes when nobody's even watching.
This is fielded inside the 35. And it's a good solid return as he takes it back up near midfield. So here comes the KC offense set to take over once more. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. That's over the middle and caught by Kelsey. And they'll get about half of what they needed to pick up a 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
Chargers, 49-yard
a handoff to Pacheco, and he will lose yardage on the play. They knock him back to midfield.
You know, at this point, the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air on 3rd down, or do they play it safe and keep running the clock by keeping the ball on the ground?
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
And on that 3rd down, they thought an easy way to pick it up and get some positive yards would go to their quick game, but it didn't seem like the receiver and the quarterback were on the same page, and now brings up 4th down.
And he looks up, he's taken down right away. Maybe fortunate just to hold on to the ball. He was tackled immediately after hauling that one in. This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll pitch it out here. Oh, and he'll get about 5.
He was brought down at the 26. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
So, from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. Pistol here for Herbert. He's got a man downfield. That's Johnston. 6 catches for him in the ball game now. This one's good for a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On 1st down, it's Harris. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all. From the 43, here's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd down at the 43-yard line.
Out of the gun, here's Herbert. Throwing right. That's Johnston. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Herbert to throw. Now, a deep shot for Allen. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete. After that incomplete pass, we have a player shaken up. He'll get himself looked at, but this is not how you want to begin a new campaign. And the Chargers will punt, getting set to kick it away. They'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the 4th quarter. Good hang time. The fair catch will be made back at their own 12. The Chiefs offense back onto the field for their next possession. This will begin at their own 13-yard line. So work to do starting with this 1st and 10. Now Mahomes gives it to Pacheco.
Number 10, Isaiah Pacheco. Carrier, De'Aaron Torrance on the stop. A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's 2nd and 9.
The 14-yard line.
Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose. And it's going to force 3rd down.
And 9 yards to go.
Here's Mahomes. That is caught. He gets the hook up with Price. And he'll be taken down up past the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 28 as they convert on third down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. First and 10. A run up the middle with Pacheco. And he ran right through one tackle, fighting forward. Good gain on the ground of about 7. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, they'll use another timeout on this side of it at 1:55. Second down, they need 3. Once again, it's Pacheco. And he'll take this one forward for about 3, and that's a first down. And now we'll get a timeout by the defense. So clock stops with 1:50 left in the game.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On first and 10, here's Pacheco. A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's second down. The Chargers are going to use their third and final timeout, and they'll get together prior to this second down play. They'll drop to throw. That's caught downfield. It's Kelsey. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line. Catch number 7 so far in this one. And a first down.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Second and 11. They go down to a knee, and that's the way to start the new campaign. 1 game, 1 win here in this season opener. So this one in the win column for the Chiefs as the defending AFC champs begin 2025 with a victory. It'll be a long but happy flight back to the U.S. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olsen and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. A game to remember for the folks here in Brazil as we say so long from Sao Paulo.